We all know what algebra is, but many can't name who invented it if they tried. If one were to look it up, they would find a Persian polymath named Muhammad ibn Musa al-khwarizmi. If the one who Googled this looked more into this man, they would have found many interesting facts, such as the fact his name is where we get the word algorithm from. But eventually, through their searching, they would find out he was part of a much bigger movement of learning. This movement was called the Islamic Golden Age. In this video, I will be explaining the abridged events of the Golden Age, from Khwarizmi to Khaldun. Signs of the Golden Age can be dated back to the beginning of Islam. Thanks to the Ummah, Muslims had great unity, being able to make massive empires. These were called the caliphates. In the Quran and other Islamic holy texts, it encourages learning in all fields, and most Muslim scholars at the time did not speak against learning from other religions. After the Abbasids overthrew the Umayyads in 750, they experienced economic prosperity, and with that the Caliph al-Mansur ordered the construction of a great capital city. This capital city was called Baghdad. While Baghdad was under construction in 751, the Abbasids learned the art of papermaking from Chinese prisoners of war after their victory in the Battle of Talas. Years after the construction of Baghdad ended, a great public center for the smartest of the empire was built. This would come to be known as the House of Wisdom. In this center, the wise gathered to talk and read from the library inside the house. This burst of wisdom spread all across the empire, growing in the madrasas, a sort of institution where Muslims could live, pray, and learn, in other Muslim cities. Greek, Latin, Hindu, and Chinese works in all fields were translated into Arabic, which enabled Muslim scholars of all specialties to build upon foreign ideas of law, the mind, and the sciences. Their Greek and Hindu translations are most notable for the fact that many Greek philosophical works would have been lost if they had not been translated to Arabic, and for Hindu, the fact that it was how the number 0 was introduced to the West. Some in the historic field say that the Golden Age went from the founding of the House of Wisdom to its destruction in 1258 by the Mongols. It is true that its destruction was the start of the end for the Golden Age, but it lasted much longer than that, some even suggesting that it went north to Italy, where it soon became the Renaissance. All that is up for debate, though. There's one thing that is not up for debate when it comes to the Golden Age, though. That is the achievements of the great Muslim polymaths, which still benefit us all to this day.
Yeah!
Al-Khwarizmi was from Khwarazm in Central Asia. He moved to Baghdad after the Abbasid conquest of Persia. He contributed to the fields of geography, cartography, astronomy, and most famously, mathematics. In his book written in 820, the compendious book on calculations by completion and balancing, he establishes algebra as a separate subject from arithmetic and geometry for the first time ever. Algebra derives its name from the shortened Arabic name for his book, Al-Jabr. A later polymath, his most famous work being from 1377, was Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun was an Arab polymath from the Khaldunia quarter in Tunis, most famous for his work on historiography. With his book, Al-Muqaddimah, Khaldun took a unique approach to historiography, looking into how politics, economics, philosophy, and many more that historians of the time didn't consider in their works related to the history of a certain place.